What's going on, family? So I'm sitting right here waiting on the wife to get here because we got an event today. That's why I'm dressed up, you know. So I figured, hey, why not go live? Not only that, I've been getting a few clients who are who are kind of having a hard time getting back on track. So I know if my clients are having a hard time getting back on track with me being here with them, I know y'all getting off track. Those of you who don't really have that coach to kick you in your butt to tell you you need to keep going. So I figured, hey, let me be your coach for the day, all right? So this is what we're going to talk about. Some of you went through Thanksgiving, and we've already talked about this, okay? I've already told y'all that you have 3 months, which means you have actually 90 days between Thanksgiving, or we'll just say November, between November, December, and January, okay? Those 3 months will give you about 90 days, roughly, give or take. And many of you blame these times of the year on, not being able to stick to your diet. And what I always have to come out and say is that, hey, the Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, miscellaneous birthdays, that's maybe 5 days out of those 90. Let's just say for some reason, you want to do more than that, okay? Let's just say you want to give or dedicate 3 days to each one of those. That's still only 15 days out of 90, give or take, okay? So there is no excuse not to get your results. There's no excuse not to get back on track after each one of these holidays, okay? So the day after Thanksgiving, you should have been back on track. If you're not back on track, you tripping, all right? Something's keeping you off track. So what I wanted to talk about is, I know what's keeping you off track. I've worked with too many clients. It's kind of, when you do something over and over and over, okay, and I've done this almost 1,600 times with, over 1,600 clients. When you do something over and over and over, you start to become a psychic. You just know what's going to happen, and you know what makes people tick, and you know why people are messing up. So we're going to talk about why you're messing up. Most of you all, okay, are scared or are afraid of succeeding, okay? And I've talked about this before, but you're afraid of succeeding. You're afraid of success. And why do I say that? Why are you afraid of success? Why are you afraid to succeed? Why are you afraid when you get that first 10, 20 pounds off? Why are you afraid to keep going? Why do you sabotage yourself? You know you're doing it. Most of y'all know you're doing it. We're afraid to be successful financially. We're afraid to be successful physically, okay? We don't want to look the part. Why is that? Because some of you don't trust what you're going to do when you get down there, okay? This is another angle. I didn't talk about this the first time. But when you're afraid of success, it's because you don't trust where you're going. And what I mean by that is, some of you, when you see yourself losing weight, you start to see yourself going to that dream body that you always wanted. So some ladies, some of you all are like, oh, if I get thick, if I get the abs and the flat stomach, I'm afraid who I'm going to become. Some of you are afraid for the simple fact, and we talked about this one. Some of you are afraid that you're going to get too much attention. You don't like attention. You don't want to walk down the road and people whistle at you because your booty looks good, or because you got a snatched waist. So some of you are afraid to succeed because of those reasons. But some of you on the other end, which is what we haven't talked about, some of you are afraid because you are afraid that you ain't going to be shit when you get that body. What am I talking about? Some of you are afraid that you might cheat on your boyfriend or your husband because you're going to look so good. You might just be willing to give it out to somebody who looks better than your husband, or who might have, or boyfriend, whoever it is, or who might have more money. You're afraid that you're going to act different, okay? You're going to act brand new. That's what you're afraid of. I've seen it over and over and over. Many of you are afraid that you're going to act brand new. I've seen it. Okay, this happens on the fella side. And this is not just physical. This happens with money. A lot of people are afraid to get money, or afraid to get on their grind and get more money, because they're afraid, if I get rich, I ain't going to be shit. I'm going to cheat on my wife. I'm going to cheat on my husband, or I'm going to cheat, or I want to do these miscellaneous crazy things. I'm not going to be shit, basically. That's what many people are afraid of subconsciously. It's deep down, even if you admit it or not. But some of you, if you just think and ask yourself, is he telling the truth about what he's saying? Most of you all would go, damn, he's right. Because guess what? I do feel like if I was to get the body of my dreams, if I was to get thick, or if I was to get lean, or whatever it may be, You're right. I might, walk around a little naked more often. I might start taking more advances from men or women because I look good, because I like the attention. Maybe because you haven't had the attention for your whole life. Maybe you have never felt what it feels like or experienced the feeling of someone desiring you based on how you look. So when you get there, you don't know how you're going to act. You just might be a little loose out here, all right? Which is fine. I'm not here to judge, okay? But what I am saying is a lot of you are afraid to succeed because of these reasons. I've seen it over and over and over. Not just from people who give up because they're afraid of it. And then I talk to them because all of my clients get walkie-talkie access to me. I'll talk to them and I'll ask them questions and I just keep digging and digging and digging. And eventually we get to some of these things. And it's usually some of these things in the back of their subconscious, in the back of their mind. And they're like, man, you know what? I'm not going to be shit if I get this body. If you teach me how to make too much money, I'm not going to be shit, okay? I'm going to use my resources. I'm going to use my money. I'm going to use my nice body to leverage to get what I want out of life. And right now, maybe I want to be a little loose. And that's not that good for me. So I'm going to just stay in this comfort zone. I'm going to just stay fat. Or I'm going to just stay unhealthy. Or I'm going to just stay broke because it's comfortable here. And I know I'm safe because nobody really wants me like this. And these are all things we're making up. Okay, you could be the same person right in the state you're in now, but we call it being afraid of ghosts. Okay, you're making this shit up. You don't know what's actually going to happen, but you're making it up. All right. Or what is your website? Hold on. You must have asked me something and I missed it. Let me see what we got. All right. Hey, man, I have been following you for so long. Recently I moved and fell off the wagon. Do you have a workout and diet plan I can follow to get back at it? Yes, definitely. So yeah, man, and I see you mentioned something here at the bottom as well. If you want to go check out my website, IamTheVeganTrainer.com. That's where you can find me. And that's for any of you. IamTheVeganTrainer.com. I got a bunch of resources and stuff there. And then if you want to jump into one of the coaching programs or something, you can hit me there, okay? This is what we do. This is how we get down. But I just, this is something that I really wanted to talk about. And honestly, I want y'all's intake on it, okay? Because maybe I'm missing something here. And maybe one of you might spark that, okay? Because I do know that there are many other things or reasons why people don't want to be successful, why people don't want to get the physical body that they quote unquote desire. But usually these are the few. They're not going to be shit. They might be loose, okay? And they're going to take it. It's like having a superpower. You're going to take it for granted or you're going to misuse your superpower. And having a lot of money or having a nice ass body, it's like having a superpower, especially having a nice body. I think having a nice body is harder to deal with than having a lot of money. And the reason why I say that is because many people have a lot of money. Okay, you can be just smart or at the right place at the right time and get a lot of money. But it takes true dedication. It takes true work. It takes a lot, okay, to actually get that nice body. So this transcends money. This transcends race, age, sex, because you got to be disciplined. But guess what? A lot of people know I only have this much discipline to get the body, but after that, the discipline to get the body, everything else goes to hell. Why? Because when it's time to really be disciplined and say no to that fine woman that you've been looking at for the longest, but she hadn't paid attention to you until you got your abs, it's hard for you to say no to her. But you got a wife now, okay? So some of you are thinking, man, my wife been with me for a while, and we take our women for granted, and same vice versa. Ladies take us for granted, especially when we've been together so long. So in the back of your mind that as soon as I get this body, I'm probably gonna leave her. And you don't want to, though. You don't want to because that's not the right thing to do. You know that, okay? Deep down that's not the right thing to do. But in your mind, okay, we all got that devil on one shoulder and the little angel on the other. We all have that. We all have it, and some of us can shut it up and some of us can't. So that's what a lot of you are dealing with right now. All right, let's answer some more questions. Let's see what we got. How do you get rid of parasites? So some of you all saw the post I put up on my page a little earlier today, and you're like, holy shit, how do I get rid of these parasites? Excuse my language. I'm on one today. But some of you are wondering, how do I get rid of these parasites? Okay, fasting is one of the easiest ways to get rid of parasites. Why? Because when you starve, the parasites, they leave the body, okay? This is why some of you break out. This is why some of you poop. You'll notice you even poop out some of your parasites. You can also take things like different herbs, Casa Sagrada, black walnut extract. You can take some of these things to actually purge them out. But you got, the number one thing is, you got to stop eating the bull, okay? And this goes back to, of course, success, okay? Because if you stop eating the bull, if you stop eating the meat, you stop eating the salmon. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry, okay? Even my wife still eats a little fish every now and then. She's mostly vegan, but she'll double back sometimes and have some, especially when I'm not around. She'll have a little salmon and she's like, I know you don't like me to eat it, so I don't eat when you're around. But outside of that, she will have some. And I tell her, I'm like, look, that stuff has parasites in it, and I know that, okay? Now, of course, we working on that because she knows, she's aware. She hears me teach this stuff. She's at the events. She's at the, the institutions that I'm teaching at. She's at these events when I'm speaking, and she hears what I'm saying, so she knows better, all right? But guess what? Everybody has their journey, and I'm not one to stop her or push her, just like I'm not one to stop you or push you. But I have to teach you what's right, and then you make your own decision, okay? So I'm teaching you that, hey, salmon, meat, processed foods, all of this stuff is going to cause parasites, okay? And it's going to have a sticking effect, which means if you have parasites already, which most of you already do, you're going to eat those things and they're going to cause the parasites to stick around, okay? It's like having it's like having a bum in your house, okay? When I don't mean like a real bum, I mean like literally one of your family members is a bum, they won't get a job, and they're leeching off of your ass, off of you. Okay, I almost cussed again. They leeching off of you. You going to work. You're putting in the blood, sweat, and tears. You're paying the bills. They're playing PlayStation. Okay, they're sitting in the house, and guess what? As long as you provide the PlayStation, the heat when it's cold outside, and the air when it's warm, and you're providing the electricity and the food, they asses are going to stick around, okay, like a parasite. And they're going to continue to leech off of you and continue to leech off of you because that's what parasites do. So I just want y'all to know, parasites just don't, they just don't exist inside the body. There are parasites outside of the body. There are people who are going to leech on your business and continue to ask you, miscellaneous favors. They're going to leech on everything you do as a business or everything you do as a person, and they're not willing to provide anything to reciprocate that. And basically what that means is the law of reciprocity. It's called ma'at, okay? This is what we practice in African ancient culture, okay? So ma'at is reciprocity, which basically means whatever we do is mutually beneficial. So if I provide you with something, you provide me with something. If I give you a service, you give me a service or some type of, currency. If I let you stay in my house, you give me a little money on the rent. That's what reciprocity is. It's a mutual beneficial thing. It's mutually giving. But we're in the times that we're in right now, we got a lot of parasites around us. And yes, it will be family, okay? It could be your mom. It could be your dad. It can be your cousin. It can be your auntie, your brother, your sister. It doesn't matter. It could be your wife. It could be you get where I'm going with this, okay? There are parasites all around you, not just inside of your body, okay? So if something is leeching off of you and not giving you something in return, there's not a mutual beneficial thing in return, that is considered a parasite. So some of you got to let go of the family parasites before you can even get rid of the internal parasites. Why is that? All right, I'm going to break this shit down. So you got to get rid of the family parasites first, because the family parasites cause certain emotions inside of us. When you get these emotions, guess what happens? You get emotional cravings. So when we're craving love or appreciation, somebody's not appreciating me paying these damn bills, okay? Human parasite. So I'm paying these bills, I'm doing all this stuff for you, but I'm not getting enough appreciation. This is going to make me crave sweets. Okay, I'm going to eat the sweets, and I'm going to feed the internal parasites, which feed on sugar. Okay, you see where I'm going with this? Okay, it's all about parasites overall, outside and inside. So you want to get rid of parasites internally. Sometimes, and most of the times, you got to get rid of the parasites externally. Because some of your family is going to also piss you off. Okay, what happens when you get pissed off? Some people don't realize that when you get pissed off or when you get these emotions from the parasites that your family are, okay, So somebody's leeching on you or somebody's pissing you off inside of your family. Pissing you off causes you to crave sugar. I'm sorry, not sugar, salt. So now you're pissed off, you're mad, you're craving salt. And because you're mad, you start thinking thoughts. When most of us get mad, we don't necessarily act on the anger. We start thinking about things that you could do to that family member. You know what? I could push you off a bridge right now. You know what? I'll whoop your butt. You know what? I'll do X, Y, and Z. And what happens is not only are you craving salt now, but those thoughts also cause you to be nervous or anxious because you are afraid that you're about to do something to your family member and it's about to be on. So now you're nervous and you're angry. Nervousness causes you to bite your nails or causes you to crave crunchy things. So now you want something salty and crunchy. That's French fries, that's potato chips, that's tortilla chips, that's salsa and tortilla chips, that's guacamole and tortilla chips. That's a lot of salty and crunchy things that you are craving because you have external parasites that are leeching off your ass. And now it's causing you to feel certain type of ways. And now you are craving, listen, hear it out, okay? Now you are craving foods that are going to feed the internal parasites. So that's what's going on, all right? So my wife just called me, so I got to get out of here, all right? So I'm getting ready to meet the wifey. She's here now. But that's how it goes, all right, family? So let me call my wife back. I love you all. Hit me up if you have any questions. Talk to you soon. Peace.